Hey, China's kicking our ass once again. Uh, China has a new train that just went 620 miles per hour. That's faster than most commercial jets. Well, I'm pretty sure. What is this? What is the sound barrier? How fast do you have to go to break the sound barrier?
See what the chat comes up with.
Yeah. Well, just ask. How fast do you have to go to break the sound barrier? 770 miles per hour. So it goes basically about 150 miles under the sound barrier. Wow, that's pretty fast. Wow, that's pretty fast. A train? This isn't sci-fi. It's the next phase of ultra high speed travel. With we already know they have trains that go over 300 miles an hour. That are faster to take than planes in China. It's not just let's read this. With magnetic levitation. That's what it's using. Magnetic levitation tech and zero physical contact with the tracks. The future of transportation is not just fast, it's frictionless. Wow, you can travel on a train without friction unless you're traveling with your family. Am I right? Come on. There's always friction. But come on, you guys. Come on. Hey, if God had, this is what I say. If God had intended us to be traveling on what they call a Maglev train, he would have given us advanced superconducting technology. Oh, wait a minute. He did? And he did it a long time ago? Yes. But Americans can't have this technology like the rest of the world. Isn't that weird that China can have this technology, but we can't?
Right?
Who has a better system? Right? China has successfully completed a trial run of the world's fastest Maglev train, reaching speeds of 1,000 kilometers per hour inside a specially constructed vacuum tube in Shaanxi province. Oh, really? So that sounds like Elon Musk's hyperlink, right? It's a vacuum tube. So you got to build vacuum tubes. Is that what they can? That sounds expensive, right? But this is great news for Brad Pitt, who needs a new train to have an action film take place. Am I right? China's 620 mile per hour Maglev train breaks barriers. The future of travel. Do you know why those trains have see how the nose is like that? That's because if they didn't, it had to do with, it would push all this air and then it would create a boom at the other end of the tunnel. Oh. So if you have it like that, it doesn't do that. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah. In a stunning demonstration of technological prowess, China has successfully completed a trial run of the world's fastest Maglev train. The experimental train uses high-temperature superconducting. That's called HDS. I thought that was the new Al-Qaeda. Magnetic levitation, enabling it to glide frictionlessly along a track, a feat that could soon redefine how we think about high speed. I heard about this. I heard a comedian talk about this, that we're going to have magnetic frictionless travel. I heard him say it like 5 years ago, and I was like, great, let's do it. I didn't think he was nuts. I'm like, I bet they can do that. Why can't they do that? So I'm afraid days of the hobos riding the rail are a thing of the past. Am I right? He'd look like a flag in a hurricane up there on that train. I can't wait to see Tom Cruise's next movie. You know, he's going to be doing that. With this breakthrough, China edges closer to achieving airplane-level speeds on the ground and doing so without burning fossil fuels because it's magnets. Why? I always thought, why can't they use you just take magnets, you put it in, boom, they create a force. There's already a force there. Why wouldn't they? You don't need a fuel. You need magnets. Or do you say magnets? This is faster than a commercial jet at cruising speed and well beyond anything seen in current rail technology. For comparison, Japan's famous Shinkansen bullet train maxes out at around 200 miles per hour. I'll take it. Even China's current Maglev in Shanghai runs at only 268 miles per hour. Really? China's Maglev train uses a next-generation propulsion system powered by high-temperature superconducting magnets, which allows for stable, frictionless levitation at greater heights than standard maglev, lower energy consumption due to stronger magnetic field. Don't they have to like put electricity into it to make it a magnet or something? Better thermal management, making long-term operation more feasible. Well, that's nice. Add to that a vacuum tube system, or do you say vacuum? Essentially an above-ground tunnel with most of the air removed, and the vehicle can travel at ultra-high speeds without resistance or noise. Together, these two, it sounds a little too good. Together, these two components create a system often dubbed a ground-based aeroplane, or do you say airplane, or more boldly, a near space train. Really? Okay. This isn't just about speed. It's about a paradigm shift, or do you say paradigm? A paradigm shift in how people and goods could move in the coming decades, or do you say decades? A 1,000 kilometer an hour train would slash intercity travel times. For example, Beijing to Shanghai cut from 5 hours, that's high-speed rail, to 2.5 hours. An airplane takes 1.5 hours. Chengdu to Shenzhen, I don't know where either of those places are. The train would match flight speeds, but without the airports, long boarding times, or the carbon emissions. Really? You're still worrying about the carbon emissions. You don't want to have more plants. Plants everywhere. The train is powered entirely by electricity. And when paired with renewable energy, it creates a zero-emission transit solution, a major step toward climate. Blah, blah, blah. Without wheels, engines, or wind drag, HTS Maglev is whisper quiet and virtually vibration-free, enhancing comfort, reducing wear and tear, and lowering maintenance costs. Building and maintaining vacuum-sealed tunnels across long distances, extremely expensive. That's what I thought. There's your catch. And logistically complex. That's what I thought. What happens when one of those vacuum tubes cracks? What happens when there's an earthquake? What happens when there's a lightning strike? What happens when some jagoffs go and let's see if I can shoot a gun in it? Each kilometer of track must be precisely engineered and sealed. At 620 miles per hour, even the slightest flaw in track alignment, software, or magnetic performance could be catastrophic. Sounds like it. Sounds like this. This sounds a little, yeah. Robust fail-safes, emergency braking, and tunnel depressurization protocols must be perfected. What if you're in there and you stick your head out the window in the vacuum? I'm not going to worry about. I'm putting my same blind faith I put in the medical industry during COVID. The technology is expensive, especially compared to traditional high-speed rail. Governments will need. We can't even have regular high-speed rail in the United States. We go 80 miles an hour. It's like, whoa! Governments will need to justify the cost with long-term sustainability, traffic volume, and international prestige. While it's zero emission in theory, running vacuum systems and high-powered electromagnets, so they're electromagnets. See, I knew they needed electricity. At scale, that's always such a funny term, at scale. Can you bring it to scale? What do you mean by that? At scale. You mean like on a mass scale? That's what they mean, right? When they say at scale. You mean mass scale. Why do they like to leave out the term mass? And will require vast energy resources, making energy efficiency a priority. I bet it does. And, you know, you're going to have a good social credit score if you want to get on that train, right? Now run through the kiosk and see if you're a good person.
Huh.
Still, if any country can overcome these barriers at scale, it's China, already home to the largest high-speed rail network in the world. And a country with a demonstrated commitment to cutting-edge. Why can't we have what China has?
Haven't we spent the money already?
Right? We've already spent the money. Grok says China's Maglev train is designed to reach 621 miles per hour using advanced blah, 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 blah. Reports from August 24 tests claim that it hit that speed, but evidence is unclear, with some sources citing only design targets. Earlier tests reached 387 miles per hour, and only 387. Well, that's nothing. Come on, you might as well pop the window open and just stick your head out. Am I right? Oh, 300 and so they're not sure if they. So I found this. This is from like 2017. This was August 2017, and I'll read to you what it says. In addition to relaunching the world's fastest bullet train, China is working on developing technology similar to Elon Musk's Hyperloop, which will allow passengers to travel at speeds of up to 2,500 miles per hour. That's what the Hyperloop would do. The first stage on the company's plan, however, will be to create a network of these flying trains operating at 600 miles per hour. That's what they're. So this is like the first step into the thing for the Hyperloop? Really? Wow. You think anybody will get the joke if I show up with one of those things from the bank where you have to put your check? You think anybody? Or am I going to just be taken outside and shot? This is what Shanghai List reports. Earlier today, the China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation, one of the nation's major space contractors, announced that it had begun research and development into a new futuristic type of transport which could operate via supersonic near-ground flight. The system would presumably be similar to that of the Hyperloop proposed earlier in the decade by Elon Musk, in which capsules would fly at ultra-fast speeds down reduced pressure tubes, dramatically reducing travel times. Of course, they said it isn't looking to reach speeds of 4,000 kilometers per hour right away. The first stage in the company's plan will be to create an intercity network of these flying trains, which operate at like around 600 miles per hour. In the second phase, this network would be extended, and the max speed of the pods would increase to 2,000 kilometers per hour. Finally, in the third stage, we could see them boosted all the way up to that's 2,500 miles per hour. 5 times the speed of a civil aviation. So that's 5 times the speed of a jet. Do you want to see? Here's one of the trains that's already working. China unveiled the fastest ground vehicle in the world. It's the train that's capable of reaching 372 miles per hour. There it is. So they already have that one. There it is. It would take only 2.5 hours to travel from Beijing to Shanghai.
What did it take previously?
Well, 3 hours by plane.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. It already uses electromagnetic force to levitate above the track with no contact between the body and the rail.
That is wild.
It's wild. So they already have this technology. Why can't we have what China has? China's been using the technology for 20 years. No kidding. Because we're in end stage capitalism. I guess they're in middle stage communism. I guess communists can do this stuff. I thought communists were supposed to have worse economies and less stuff. I would love to get on a train instead of a plane. It is such an ordeal to travel via plane nowadays. And customer service is out the window. It has been since 9/11. Let's face it. Oh God, yeah. They treat you like you're in the military, and everybody who works at the airplane company is your drill sergeant. They just bark at you the entire time. Anyway, all right, over to Steph.
JBGT3 says the Shanghai Maglev train, which uses German Transrapid technology, has been operational since 2004 and travels at operational speed at 270 miles per hour. JBGT, thank you for that hot info. Much appreciated. Wow.
Why can't we have nice things?
I don't know, Jimmy Dore. I don't know. Okay, let's see here what we have. Did I read that one? No, let's go here. Let's move back. Okay, here we go. Jelani refused to go to the Iraq for an Arab League summit as there's an active arrest warrant for him being involved in many deaths.
Ha ha.
All right. Okay.